Hey, good morning, Mortgage Coach. Today I am with the one, the only, everybody knows him, Todd Duncan. What's up, Todd?
Woohoo! Good to see you, Dave. How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person in 6 weeks.
Can you believe
Uh,
it?
yeah, it's going to be weird going to someplace other than Palm Springs to see you at this time of year. But I'm looking forward to San Diego.
We're looking forward to it's a venue shift. We spent a good portion of the 24 years that Mastery's been going out at Palm Desert, but kind of outgrew the space, outgrew the hotel, and we're hoping for a whole new, fresh look and feel with the venue in San Diego on the waterfront, and it's going to be good. We're going to rock it.
Well, I love the theme of breakthrough. I think this is a great year for that. I mean, if you would have done that last year, it's like everybody was, it was raining loans. This year there's a little more tension in the market. Everybody is looking for that breakthrough. So maybe that's why you maybe came up with that theme. But what was really the why behind the theme of breakthrough this year?
I think we did look at going into the end of the year last year. We really looked at a history, So if you're going to do your 25th sales mastery, you want to look back and you want to kind of address what's a pattern. What's a pattern of all greatness? What's a pattern of every top producer you and I've had the pleasure of interviewing? What's a breakthrough for any manager or leader who goes from originator to starting a company? And at the end of the day, it's deciding that there's something that I need, that I want, that I desire, and I'm ready to go after it, right? And breakthrough, by its own definition, is nothing other than the final achievement after a series of breakdowns. All life is a bunch of experiments, and each time we theoretically should learn the lesson of what not to do, and then if we persevere because we have the right purpose and vision, we keep going and we keep going. And so there's this huge compendium of trial and error that all of a sudden gets us to a point where we break free of inertia and gravity and we get that breakthrough. So last year it was, what are the breakthroughs necessary? What are the digital breakthroughs? What are the humanity breakthroughs? What are the just productivity and sales breakthroughs that originators need going into the market we're in? And in the next 2 to 3 years, how do you set yourself up for all the digital compression and still be an advice centric LO, right? And
Right.
build a business in the face of all that. Yeah. So nobody can argue that. I think all greatness is at the end of a breakthrough and starts a new generation, and then we need to break through again. And you and I have known each other a long time, buddy, and all success stories require a breakthrough.
Yeah, no doubt. I have been studying this a lot, one, to add as much value at your event as possible. Also, I interviewed Robert Stover. I don't know if you remember Robert Stover, but
Robert,
of course you do. Of
Nevis,
course you do. Yeah,
Nevis,
yeah,
Four Seasons.
yeah. Of course you do. But one of the ways we're defining breakthrough is it's something where you get dramatic results. You go from here to here, and without more effort. Dramatic results, not with dramatic more effort. And so I would love in this call right now, in this conversation with you, what are some breakthroughs, that loan officers could implement, or, maybe it's just one. What is a breakthrough? It's just, you see it sitting around all the time when you're coaching folks.
It's almost so straightforward, Dave, that it's surprising that most don't get it. But it's the breakthrough of measurement, and everything great that we can ever achieve in our life has to be based on something that gives us a sense of where are we and where can we go. And so measurement is one of the things that we're watching through the High Trust coaching platform really bring value to LOs. We have LOs that have added $200 or $300 an hour in their hourly rate. We have LOs that have 3 and 4x their business by starting to understand measurement. It's funny to watch people that have averaged $1 million a month in fundings go to $4 million a month in fundings without, as you said, any extra work, but by really taking a look at the measurement that affects fundings, right? And so the measurement that affects fundings is not how many leads I get. It's really not even at the higher end how many conversations I have. It's the impact that's being made, and what do I do to get that kind of daily breakthrough. So a way to present this is, what would happen if you could take the tools of High Trust, the tools from Mortgage Coach, And what if you could improve your dialogue value in such a way that every month you improve your conversion by 0.8%? 0.8%. That's it per month of people that you have pre-qual conversations with who ultimately trust you at the level of saying yes and meaning it. And you do that over the course of a year, Dave. And this is where a breakthrough occurs. Every single day I get better with TCAs. Every single day I get better with creating trust, in those first couple of minutes with a borrower. Every single day I deliver more advice than any of my competitors, even for the same price. I'm giving more advice. That's a real disruptive advantage. And then over the course of a year, I end up with a 12% improvement on whatever my baseline was of conversion. That's a breakthrough. And so how do you get really good at something each and every day that cumulatively over time gives you this massive lift? So in our elite coaching program, we're measuring how much economic value is there for every 1% improvement in lead conversion to application that closes that an LO is able to get. And it wouldn't surprise you, Dave, but over the course of a year with a 12% lift and the average basis points, average loan amount in America, all those kinds of things. In 5 years, an LO can have close to $3 million based on the cash flow per loan by improving their conversion by 12% in a calendar year. And it's beyond 5 million for the average loan amount in America and the average basis points LOs are making if you invest that difference in 10 years. So that's one thing I see people doing. It's too hard to work harder for more leads today. It's too hard to work harder for more conversations today. You got to be really good at converting what you got.
So just the takeaway for everyone, first it starts with measuring. What is your conversion? Do you know it? Having an improvement goal. And then it's not about spending more time with the client or making it harder to do your job, literally just by fine-tuning your scripting, high trust style, by using the total cost analysis, which every loan officer knows doesn't take more time. It actually reduces the time. If you do that, you get a better conversion and boom, you get a breakthrough. So dramatically greater results, no extra effort. Other than you do need to train. You need to come to sales mastery. So those of you that are on the fence, we're pushing you off the fence. Get off the fence, sign up, make sure you get your hotel reservations because they do go, and then you end up having to take an Uber to come to the event, and you don't
want to do that.
And it breaks. You can't go up to your room. You gotta I gotta go back to my hotel. So get your hotel booked so that you could be in the game and get signed up. So we're going to put a link below to get signed up. Now, Todd, I'd love to give as much value as possible. So we got one breakthrough. That was tactical. Also, for people who come to an event like Sales Mastery or any event, what wisdom do you have? What should they do before they come? And what should they do when they're there so they really get the most value? And try to give this in a way that, yeah, we want them to come to Sales Mastery, but let's just say some crazy person doesn't. Let's give them this advice from the heart so that they just get better at coming to events and getting value. Anything come to mind?
Yeah. I think the most important thing, Dave, and this is a life skill, but the most important thing is to be a steward of assessment. And by that, I mean, most LOs, most leaders don't take enough time to critically look at their business and their life. We have a brand new diagnostic that's out, and we've surveyed 2,000 LOs, and it's very shocking to see the dysfunction that most report having in their own business. So for me, if we have a solution for that, which in one form is the Sales Mastery event, it's really healthy for you to be looking at, okay, what would I like to see differently in my business and life? Where are the pain points? Where are the things that I realize I need a breakthrough in? If I can wave a magic wand and have something be different, what would that be? And so LOs that I think get the most out of an event would be the LOs that come into the event knowing, where am I looking for that extra twist or that extra idea, that extra thing? We're gonna give 25 breakthroughs in 4 days, plus a bunch of other stuff on how those breakthroughs get executed. But it's going to be one or two or three of those that make the difference for you based on where you're at. So that's the first thing they do. So they assess before they learn. The second thing they do is after they learn, then they open the doors for accountability. And for me and for what we're doing and watching traction when you measure, it's unbelievable. So Dave, one of the giveaways to everybody that I would just say, regardless of whether you come to Mastery or not, we certainly want you there. You guys as Mortgage Coach, as a Mortgage Coach tribe member and a high trust follower, it's super easy for you to get your head around investing, $700 or $800 in a ticket price to come down and invest in that ecosystem. You guys get that, you dollarize that out fast. But interesting thing we've discovered is that the loan officers that are getting a hockey stick in their business, they focus on five things. They focus on total number of conversations per day. Those are broken down to database conversations, and they're broken down to referral partner conversations. So those are three measurements. The fourth measurement is of those conversations, what percentage of those are TRID triggered into a loan submitted to processing? There's a high performance number there. And of those, what percentage of those fund? And there's a high performance number there. By tracking those things every single day, we're watching lifts in productivity just by tracking lifts in productivity of 1 and 2x in a period of 90 to 180 days. So if you don't measure it, you can't improve it. Here's something interesting, Dave. The biggest pickup right now is not in pre-qual conversations with referral partner business. The biggest pickup right now is conversations with database, and not just for refis, because those are a little bit different, but because of their centers of influence. So for me, one of the big insurance policies against anything is your database following you? Is your database loving on you? Are you loving on them? And do you have that connection? Because that's where some really serious lift is about to take place. So we're going to talk about how to do that at Mastery.
So that reminds me of something. We've been putting together this Client for Life playbook, which includes an annual review with Mortgage Coach. And I have surveyed now hundreds of loan officers. I've personally interviewed dozens of the nation's best loan officers. And literally 80 to 90% of them are getting less than half of the past client business that they could be and should be getting. Now, by the way, I've already discounted half. Like, typical in a market like this where it's not a refi market, it's 12% of your loans, your families that you have under managed are doing a loan. And most loan officers are only getting 3% or 2% when they could be getting 6% annually. So, huge wisdom in what you're saying. Makes lots of sense. So let's summarize, everybody. First of all, come to Mastery. Get off the fence, commit, improve your conversion rate. High trust selling plus Mortgage Coach does not equal 2. It equals 10x your conversion rate and your past customer pull-through rate. Everything Todd was talking about, it's not just conversion. It's not just to get the family to say, hey, here's my social security number. I will do a transaction with you. The way Todd and I do it together, we take you from, yes, I want to do business, it triggers TRID, but we want to create you for a Client for Life. So come check it out. I'm going to put a link below again to sign up for Mastery. I'm going to put a link to another interview Todd and I have done, just so you want to get more Todd Duncan and Dave Savage. Check it out below. And if you did get a takeaway, like this and share it with your friends and family. And then I have one more ask for everybody watching this. If you either have had a breakthrough or you're working on a breakthrough, put it in comments below. Todd and I would love to see where you're coming from. I think it would give us some good homework coming into Mastery. And also it would give us something to talk about at our next time we do an interview like this. Todd, anything else before we wrap it up?
No, I think that, first of all, I appreciate the tribe that you've committed, Dave. You're celebrating your 20th anniversary of Mortgage Coach. What a great achievement, and I think back to the early days when we actually invented the annual client review in 1994. And to see today that is such an important part of a Client for Life strategy, I would say to everybody that, the biggest thing you do is you decide what you would like to have happen in the next 3 to 5 years in your business. And where are the 3 or 4 things that if you can get those things implemented without, as Dave said, lifting another finger for labor, not adding another hour to your day, but just getting better and better and better in the time frame you spend each day changing lives. If that's how you prepared yourself for sales mastery in the next 2 to 3 years, I think it's going to be game over. And one thing I'm going to commit to is that we are going to push the envelope harder than we've ever pushed it for creating a tribe of database engagers and influencers and wealth builders. 91% of originators in our survey of over 2,000 do not have a client for life game plan. 91. And the 9% that do are making about 60% of their monthly revenue from their database. That's power. That's leverage in the marketplace. It's game changing. And I'm going to predict, if you don't have ownership of your database with big data coming into play in the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to have competition unlike anything you've ever seen. So lock and load on them now, build the relationship now. We're going to talk about client for life magnets and sticky glue at Sales Mastery. You've got to have them in your back pocket as this industry continues to digitally compress, or you're going to be very, very surprised. So come to Mastery. We'll help show you the way.
Thank you, Todd.
You bet, buddy. Talk to you soon.
See you soon, bud.